System tables. Table spaces. Have you heard about table spaces? What is meant by table spaces? Where is the information kept that which table can be accessed by which user? Where is the information kept about DBA? They are called system table spaces in Oracle. What is the name in MySQL? Information schema. Every database has got a particular tabular structure in which it will store advanced information, and the metadata of the tables are kept in this place. So a good metadata lineage tool should be querying this to see what are the comments about a particular table, what are the column descriptions. All those things are kept inside this. And now you are saying that you have created a Hive, which is a data warehouse, which is of tabular structure. Comparing to that RDBMS analogy, you will need a meta store like information schema for your Hive, because you are bringing it as a tabular way. That meta store cannot be on the block. Why? Today it may contain the block. Tomorrow I told you it may contain S3, correct? So I need something external. So the basic of Hive is that to make sure that Hive is working internally, Hive needs a meta store, which is a database. So what is the database that you are going to use? It depends. In your company, it is MySQL. You can configure Oracle. You can configure Derby. You can configure whatever database you like to store the information about what all are available on Hive. That's called metastore. Without metastore, it will not work. So the next step is to show you where is that metastore. Guess, in Hadoop, whenever you are implementing Hadoop, when you install Hadoop, there are 3 configuration files. I have mentioned to you all these things and showed you. Core site.xml, HDFS site.xml, yarn site.xml. All these are the configurations for Hadoop. Remember, HDFS site.xml is the one, or core site.xml is the one where you will put the replication factor as 3. And I showed you that in your case, the replication factor is 1. Why? Because it is one virtual machine. So please compare core site, HDFS site, yarn site. What can be or what might be the name of Hive's configuration file? Hive site.xml. The moment you go to an organization and you are going to work on Hadoop, you will look at these 3 files and you will look at Hive site.xml. Then you will know the complete architecture of what that Hadoop is being, how it is being architected. You will see the memory, you will see how much yarn maximum memory is, how much is the minimum memory, what is the sort memory, what is where is the metastore, etc. So if you are going to the virtual machine, write the favorite command, find sudo, because you need the super user access, find from, I think, /etc. All the things are kept in /etc. Remember, it is not simple etc. /etc means from the root. /etc. And then minus iname and then Hive site.xml. If you are not sure of the name, just use the wildcard characters, Hive star.star or something like that. Immediately you got etc hive site.xml. What I'm going to do is vi slash etc slash hive slash conf slash hive site.xml and press enter and just come down. That's it. Look at that. You are saying that there is a property and my meta store is obviously going to be MySQL. So what is the meta store used by Hive for Cloudera virtual machine? MySQL. And you will see the username, password, everything that is being provided here. And this is what is being used. So look at that. The username is Hive and the password is Cloudera. Okay, let us do a simple hacking. It is not advisable to do, but just for showing you the fun here, I am going to write here MySQL minus u. What was the username? Hive was the username. Minus p. It will ask me the password. And you have just now seen the other file in which password was Cloudera, and I typed Cloudera and press enter. You are now into MySQL. Please don't do anything onto the database. And if suppose I type here show databases, that controls your entire Hive. Why? If you go to use Metastore, it is similar to MongoDB commands, or MongoDB is similar to MySQL commands. Use Metastore, you are going to the Metastore database. Database changed. Show tables. Now you will understand how the metadata lineage tool works, how the databases works and everything. Every detail is kept inside this. What are the column statistics? What are the tables? What are the column privileges? This is how MySQL works. This is how Oracle works. This is how every database works. But they have created that particular thing as a separate meta store, and they have stored everything into that. You have to configure it whenever you are creating your Hive database. Clear? So you'll see so many columns are there. Look at that, partition keys and everything. And it is not simple. Bucketing is a feature that we will see later in Hive. Alright, so come out. You don't have to do anything here and close this particular terminal. Please don't affect that database in any way. Okay, and come out of this, and we don't need to change that one. So coming back to the presentation, you use Hive query language. For what? For creating the tables, for doing anything with Hive. So let's start. And you can also type along with me. Go to your virtual machine. Open a terminal. I have already have one terminal. Let's start.
How do you open a terminal?
Please go to Mahesh. Can you please help? So after opening the terminal, there are two ways that you can experiment with Hive. One is, if you have a Cloudera virtual machine, only you, nobody else, can experiment on your Hive. What does that mean? In all our examples, if suppose MongoDB is running here, right? Mahesh can connect to my MongoDB, correct? By giving the port and ID, right? But Hive, if you type a command, only from that machine you can connect. I cannot use your machine to connect to my Hive. Understand? The first method that I'm going to tell. That method is just type Hive. So if you type Hive, you will be able to connect to only your Hive. And for those who are going to work on Florida Blue or Citibank or Bank of America, anywhere, it is not that simple that when you type Hive, you will be able to work with their Hadoop architecture. Not possible. Why? Where is the permissions coming in? What did I do when I connected with MySQL? MySQL minus U, I gave the username and password. What is the username and password for an enterprise? It is normally LDAP, which is integrated with Microsoft, right? You will be logging on with user ID and password. LDAP will be integrated with your Hive in your company, and it will be secured. And the secure mechanism that they use is called Kerberos. Kerberos is a widely used mechanism in Hive. So, in your company, you will have to type a command before you type Hive. That command is kinit. What is kinit? Kerberos init. And what does it will do? It will ask you a password. And what is the password? That LDAP password, which is integrated. Now you will be getting into Hive. Please remember.
What is that?
Kerberos. Kerberos is an authentication. Kinit is the command. You will type kinit. You will ask a question, right? This was a challenge for me when I was working there. Is you can do this kinit only from the command prompt. But what happens if you write a web application and from the web application you want to connect to Hive? How will you do that? From the web application, how will you do the kinit? Kinit is a command line, this thing. You have to create kinit programmatically in Java. And that's what I did. I'll show you that code. And there were nobody who had done that till now. Because programmatically, how can you connect? They were telling that, okay, from Hive, I will copy to MySQL. Their hobby is copying. So from there, you will copy to MySQL. Otherwise, they will copy to MongoDB. And then you will connect from. Why? You can directly connect to Hive. Of course, there are limitations that I will tell you later once you get hands-on with Hive. So, type Hive and press enter. Like MongoDB, you don't have to start the server. Can you tell me why you don't have to start the server? Cloudera virtual machine already started the server. Otherwise, you could have done what? Like Mongod, you might have started Hive. You don't have to do that. And as you can see, the prompt came in. And please look at the warning. That is telling you the second way of accessing Hive. What is that warning saying? Hive CLI. See what is CLI? Command line interface. Hive CLI is deprecated and migration to Beeline is recommended. That we will see later. And what is Beeline? Beeline is another tool. And what is the advantage of Beeline over Hive? What did I tell you about Hive? Hive I can connect only from my virtual machine. Myself can do it on that particular terminal. You, for example, from Shashi's machine, I cannot type Hive and my IP number to connect to my machine. Not possible. For that, what do you need? Beeline. So in your company, what you will use? Beeline. Will there be Hive? No. So, Hive is there, and now let us start playing with it. Okay, let's create a table. How will I? What is that? If it is not coming, then there is a mistake. Find out the mistake. What did you do? And what you need to do is type your first command. Create table sample A int B string Hive is having a special property. It never bothers you by telling anything. It will always tell you okay. Okay means okay. Even if there is error, it will tell you okay. So, okay. Right. So, create table sample, A integer, B string. I created a particular table. Insert. And look at the magic when you are doing the insert. Insert into, what is the name of the table? Sample. And the first one is an integer. I am going to write 10. And the next one is a string. I am giving passion. What is the problem?
Values.
Yeah, I'm not going to be here to tell you what is SQL, okay? What is happening? Please look at my screen. What is happening? You are not familiar with this? What is this? It is running a MapReduce. Did you write any code? No. And please look at that. The MapReduce is completed and the data got inserted. This is the reason why we learned all those things, to give you the clear picture of what is happening internally. So, it's created. Now, select. No, it is SQL. Nobody is going to tell you SQL. Select star from sample. Every day your life is with SQL, right? Yeah, insert into table values, right? And please look at the data that is coming back when I do a select star from sample. One question. When I write select star, there was no MapReduce, but when I inserted, there was MapReduce. What do you understand from this?
Keeping the file.
Concepts.
Keeping the file in HDFS directory.
Select star means just fetching. There is no need of MapReduce. It is just asking the name node, where is the location, and then it is just bringing that particular data. Remember Hadoop fs minus ls or Hadoop fs minus cat? No MapReduce. Fetch. Insert. What do you need to do? You need to go to the name node. You need to divide it into the blocks. You need to put the data. A MapReduce is getting executed. All aggregation functions, MapReduce will get executed. All fetch, no MapReduce will get executed. Interview question. Why there is no MapReduce in some and why there is some MapReduce? Because aggregation functions require to deal with the mappers and reducers. That's why there is MapReduce. Now I am going to show you something. How will you clear this screen? Don't type clear. This is not Unix prompt. It is Hive prompt. Control L. You need this in Scala also when you learn Spark. Control L will clear the screen. And what is the command, Krishna? Delete from sample. It will delete all the rows, right? Delete from sample. Next, very important point. All these are the concepts, okay? What is the output that you got? Attempt to update or delete using transaction manager does not support these operations. Anybody? What is the meaning of that? Is it OLTP or is it OLAP? OLAP. In OLAP, is there updates and deletes? Updates and deletes will be done by the databases which supports transactions. For transaction support, you need a very advanced transaction manager which does two-phase commits, rollbacks and all. It is not supporting transaction manager. The latest version of Hive supports ACID, atomicity, consistency, isolation and durability. That I will be showing you. I think in the previous batches it is not taught for Verma and Sinoj and all. We will see how we can enable ACID. Now,
So one question. So you created that sample table, right? Where did that table get
I am
created?
going to come that. Okay. So now you created the table. Where did it go? What is the diagram? Please remember that by default, whenever you install Hive, whether it is Cloudera, Hortonworks or any version, everything will be available in user/hive/warehouse in your HDFS, not the local file system. Okay. So what I am going to do is I am going to go to that particular place and don't again run your Hadoop commands on Hive prompt. Now remember, you are on Hive. You cannot run the Hadoop commands. You can run. I'll show you later. But don't type the Hadoop commands here and open another command terminal. Okay. Hadoop fs minus ls slash user. There you go. There is user/hive. Hadoop fs minus ls. And you can see the warehouse there. And Hadoop fs minus. Look at that. What is that? User/hive/warehouse/sample. And what is that sample? Is the table that you created. Now you understand? Everything is in HDFS. And now let us go inside sample and see what is there. Come on, you know what is this particular syntax and everything. That is showing that it is a MapReduce program and it has got a partition. And if I write now Hadoop fs minus ls, Hadoop fs minus cat, and if I write here sample/0000000 underscore 0 carefully.
Space between cat and bar.
Some encryption. That's why that data is there. Clear? This is everything about Hive. The internals, the complete architecture of Hive. Now,
While you are inserting data into the Hive, the trans MapReduce program on it, right?
yes, and then created this particular file in
Yeah.
HDFS.
So did you insert it in the form of key and value?
No, everything is managed by MapReduce program. It converted it into key and values.
It takes the data.
It takes and it does all the
So if
conversions
it
for you.
contains, so you inserted two columns.
Ah.
So if you insert more than two, like
Leave it to MapReduce. MapReduce will convert that into a corresponding key value. That complex program is written internally. It is generated. 10 columns, 20 columns, 15 columns, no problem at all. All right. Next thing that I'm going to do, please go back to your Hive prompt. You already understood that delete is not supported. Let us create a database now. Why? Please remember that if you don't create any database, what it does is Hive will use a database called default. This is by default coming along with Hive. So if I type a command here, show databases, please look at that. That okay, please ignore. I told you for everything I will tell okay. Look at that. Default is the name of the default database. So where is your sample available? In default.sample. So if you are a perfect programmer, you will be writing select star from default.sample. It should give you the same result because it is in default. You did not specify a database. How will you specify a database? Very important. Again, certification question. Create database demo. Again, okay. Now you created a database. use demo. And now create table. I will call it as demo table. If you want to be very specific on your database, you can also write demo.demo table. And this time, let us type two columns: name, which is of type string, age, which is of type int, and then put semicolon. Now show databases. Oh, sorry. Show databases. You will see there are two databases now. Use default. Show tables. Please look at that. There is no data table called demo table. Why? Demo table is in demo database. Can you guess? Even though I have not created any other table in the default database, why that other name is there? Values table underscore one. Come on.
Data. That's system table.
Tables other than default.
Information schema.
Whenever information schema is completely separate, that is meta store, which is in MySQL. What is that? Whenever you execute any MapReduce, whenever you are doing it, it will first create a temporary flush area, and from the flush it will be copied to your original table. That particular table is internally used as a temporary store. Database management is not that easy. You can configure it not to be available, but it is shown there. All right.
So
Now,
so Ravi, right now the database got created on one of these blocks, right?
yeah, absolutely. Okay. Now, I want to show you again. Go back to your Hadoop command prompt. Clear the screen. Hadoop fs minus ls. Inside the warehouse, can you guess what will be there? You can see something extra now with a .db extension. What do you see now? There is a demo.db and there is sample. What is that demo.db indicates? You created a database. So if there is an extension .db, that creates a database. And now, if you do data warehouse slash demo.db, can you guess what will be there inside the demo.db? The table that you have created, which is the demo table. Perfect. Play around. Right? Now, this is, little kids play. What is the real use? You should be able to load the data into Hive, CSV files, and all the things will be coming in. So let us look at that example. First, you please see what I'm doing, and then you do. Okay? So, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go to foroursun.com from the Cloudera virtual machine. Okay, please look first. Okay, I will give you time to do that. Okay, foroursun.com/passion, and you download a file called LAHMAN 591 csv.zip. So I'm clicking on that LAHMAN 591, right? And then click on OK. As you can see, it is downloaded. I am going to go to this particular place. Not Hive prompt. I'm going to create a directory mkdir data. All my data I'm going to put it here. CD data, move the file which you just downloaded, which is lemon.zip, to here. Unzip. Delete unnecessary files. I don't need that zip file anymore. And I don't need that. I think that's a hidden file. Right? I am going to copy all the files from laman to the root directory, means the current directory. I don't want this internal directory again, lam alpha node. Okay, so I am going to cp all that star dot star from that laman directory to here. From the child, I am bringing it to the parent. Everything is there. Now I can delete confidently that laman directory. I brought in all the files. There is a schools file, vi, capital S schools.csv. As you can see, the column names are this one, the school ID, school name, what happened? School ID, school name, school city, school state, and school nick. So I'm going to just write it down here. Okay, one is the school ID, and another is school name, another is school city, and school state, and then school nickname. These are all strings. What I'm going to do is, you don't have to, but I'm just showing you first the difficult way. Copy the schools.csv, because I want to create a backup of that, to my schools.csv, all lowercase. Why? Because schools.csv contains header. I want to load into Hive, I don't want header. First, let us do it without header. So vi, my schools.csv, don't change schools.csv, which is the original copy, and press dd, which is deleting the first header row. Now you don't have the header because I already copied it here. And now I am coming to the Hive prompt. Control L. Create table. My schools, school ID of type string, school name is string, school city of type string, school state of type string, and school nick is of type string. Everything is in rows, right? So my data is in row format. Is it delimited? Yes, it is delimited. How are the fields separated? Fields separated by a comma. Lines terminated by a new line. I think this is terminated. Row format delimited, fields terminated by, right? Let's just refer to the syntax. Where is it? If you come to the PowerPoint presentation and look at the syntax, where is the, yeah, row format delimited, fields terminated by beautiful. We are absolutely fine. Okay, so go here and then come back. Lines terminated by new line. And how is it stored? Is it stored as a zip file or a text file? That's the complete command. This creates just the table in metastore. That is the purpose of metastore. Now you know how your lineage and everything works.
So can we give double quotes, no quotes, or single quotes to the value inside?
Possible.
Otherwise, it would be ambiguous. If there is a
All
comma between
all
the
you can escape. In Java, if you put a backslash before a special character, it will be escaped. Store as text file. Let's see whether there are any errors. Error also it will tell okay only. Now, you created only table, you didn't load the data. Oh, sorry. Load data. Are you going to load from local or from HDFS? Did I put it in HDFS? No. So what I need to do? First, let me show you. Hadoop fs minus mkdir demo. This is Hadoop command. And how will you put it? Hadoop fs minus put myschools.csv to demo. And come here. Load data in path. Demo. Overwrite. Into table. What is the table that you created? That shows everything is perfect. Select star from describe select aggregation. What will happen if I write out aggregation? Count star from my schools. Remember, select is a fetch, no map reduce. Did you write any code? And this is exactly the word count program that you have written. Internally, it is getting converted into your map and reduce. Everything is happening internally. And finally, you are going to get count star, which is the number of rows inside that particular table. All these outputs that are happening. And you will see that 749 rows are there inside that particular table. What is the proof that this has executed a map reduce? Go to localhost 8088. In 18th century, we studied this, right? Select count star from my schools. That query got converted into a map reduce. Wherever you have seen your word count, now you see the query that is coming in. And it will show you the full statistics. You can look at the counters and you can look at all the things that I taught to you. Everything is available there. Now, if you go to your HDFS, Hadoop fs minus ls slash user slash hive slash warehouse slash my schools. You should remember. See, that file myschools.csv is now divided into blocks and kept it into that directory. But where did you kept that myschools.csv before you run the Hive command? In the demo, right? Let us look at the demo. Hadoop fs minus ls. What is the directory? Demo, correct? We put myschools.csv, right? Please look at this command here. I put it into the demo directory, correct? And let us look inside the demo. What happened? When you wrote that load data in path, it took from that HDFS directory, moved it to user slash hive slash warehouse, because now you created a database. Your data should be secure. It is not there. It got moved into the user slash hive slash warehouse, and there now you will do. Now tell me, if I write a drop table command, what will happen? that data will be deleted permanently from user slash hive slash warehouse and your data is lost. Do you want that? You don't need it, right? What you need to do, if you want the data to be persisting, even if you drop the table, just add one word in this particular command that you created when you created the table. Go to the beginning and add a word called. This is the difference between normal tables and external tables. Normal tables means when you drop the table, the data, underlying data also is lost. Normal tables are also called as managed tables. Why? Because they are managed by Hive. When you create external table, you will see that even if you drop the table, the data will still be remaining, which is what is important in your organization and all. Why? Because you may recreate the table, you may drop the table, but you still want your data to be available. If you lose your data also, possibly you will get some scoldings.
But external table is it doesn't hold data, right? It's
It
just
will hold the data.
But
It
just
will hold the
temporary.
data, but not in the user slash hive slash warehouse. I don't understand. It will be the place where your data is there. It will just point, and when you drop it, this only table will be dropped. Your data will still be there. But once it is coming to user slash hive slash warehouse, that means if you drop the table, your data is also lost.
But I thought external table, when you query it, right, it gets loaded into that external table from the source.
You're right.
But it doesn't get stored there. I mean,
No, it is not stored there. That's what I'm saying. It's not stored there. Whereas in the normal tables, managed tables, user slash hive slash warehouse will come into picture. So I'm just pausing it here, and what you